Hey, everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
And this is Volume Up by the Tees. Before we dive in, a quick shout out to Nutrafol. Stylists know that healthy hair isn't just about shampoo and conditioner. Those matter, but true hair health also starts from within. Nutrafol Hair Growth Nutraceuticals supports visibly thicker, stronger hair from the inside out with formulas at every stage of life. Check out Nutrafol.com/stylist to learn more. Jeff, I got a story.
You gotta go. We gotta leave with this. This was started slightly off mic, and now we're bringing it to all of you.
Yes,
so
here we are. So I have this dog named Spark Ellers. If you say it fast enough, it's Sparklers. This is intentional copywriting. You're welcome. So we have these neighbors, and they can't have a dog because the dad is allergic to dogs. So they often come and take my dog, which is fine. I know them now. We're now very friendly. We weren't at first. Anyway,
when you say when you say take your dog,
yes.
What exactly does that mean?
Oh, they take him, like Spark walks the kids to school. Spark goes to the park. Like Spark goes down and plays. Yeah. Now we've gotten to a point where he's outside or even inside and the windows are open and he can hear the kids' voices and he runs down to the door, go let out. And we call them, quote, family. And my dog is very smart. And so I'll say, do you want to go see family? And he bolts down the hill.
Wow.
It's like a total win-win because this dog is a Springer Spaniel. He needs to be exercised.
He's got a lot of energy. Yes.
Yeah. And so, and the cutest part is like the boy is really little and he can't say his R's. And so I hear him yell, Sparkies.
Oh my God.
It is the cutest thing ever. And it warms my heart. And they're happy. Spark has all treats there. He has balls. They bought him a leash. They bought him a collar. They've got the bat. They've got the whole setup.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, he comes back in. And now we're at a point. Where I don't even have to let him out the door. The little girl just comes and opens up my back door and yells, Sparky. And he comes out and then they go and then they take him back up. And it's like an exchange that I don't even have to participate in. Great.
Love that.
He comes back the other night and he has kind of a tuft on the top of his head. We'll have to put this in the show notes.
Yep, please. We'll drop some
pics. It's like a blonde, it's like sun-kissed tuft and it's probably like 3 inches. Comes back in the door with the tuft in a full ponytail. I go, who did this? And certainly none of the males in my house did it. And Spark was just happy as can be, just that little ponytail on the top. And I ran into my neighbor when she was taking the dog the next day. And she was like, did Spark come back? Did Spark come back with the ponytail? And I said, he did. And it was magnificent. So we've started something over and above him having a second family. So we're a true hair family. Even the dog
I was gonna say,
gets involved.
Second family, second
family.
Wow. I was not expecting any of that.
Anyway, it brought me so much joy. I thought I would share. And when I shared with you off camera, you were shook. And now
I knew in that instant that we had to have everybody else hear about it. So will you be investing in hair accessories for Spark?
Possibly. I don't know if he is down for all of them.
I'm just doing like a sparkly something to really.
Yeah, and he's never been able to do the costumes and stuff. So I don't know. I think he's just gonna have to roll with the ponytail. They might up their game. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, you'll have to report back if they continue to level up with this.
I will. Jeff, you're on another note, you're heading out.
Yeah. So
this is gonna be your last episode with us for a little bit.
It is. Yep. Same family. Not a second family situation.
Not a second family. Same.
But
a growing family.
Family. Another baby. Gonna be dealing with that. Will be sleep deprived. Nobody would want to hear from me, I don't think, during that time. So I'm sparing everybody, really. But yeah, I will be gone. I will miss all of you. And I know that you're in good hands because we've got a very qualified, very competent guest who's coming back. I think everybody
coming back.
She's coming back. You'll be in great hands.
Indeed. Well, best of luck to you and to the family. This is going to be an adjustment, no doubt. I mean, I never got the opportunity to go from 2 to 3, but you're going 2 to 3. I cannot even fathom having a baby right No, I
Well,
don't think I'm sorry. That didn't seem very reassuring. I mean,
no,
you
no,
are
but
going to
I'm
be,
there too.
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
like
and she's not
going
with
back
us
to
yet.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's not.
yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody says this though about like parenting. Like you
Yeah,
block certain
you
things
do.
out. You have to in
Yeah,
order to
for
survive
sure.
it. And I'm in denial, full blown, about
Yeah,
what is to befall all of us. But it's gonna happen. So there's that.
it's going to happen. Best of luck.
Thank you. Speaking of luck, this is actually something that's a beautiful segue, which is the Rule Breaker Awards. So I'm, again, going to be gone for a bit, but it's not going to matter because we're not revealing this until the next issue of Printed, which is dropping this winter. So in the next issue, the Rule
Yes.
Breaker Award winners will be announced. There was voting, it just closed a couple of days ago. And I know that there were lots of people chiming in about all of the different categories. Some like blowouts. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not
Ooh,
spoiling anything,
okay.
but I will reveal to some, well, our listeners at least, there were some people that won handedly without
Oh,
like, yeah. So, and I
like
won't
no
reveal,
questions asked. Yeah.
but damn, people did get their votes in. So yeah,
All
I'm really
right.
excited for everybody to see these.
Amazing. All right, you ready to get into our celeb photos of the week? Please follow along on these looks with us by either checking out the show notes or in our Instagram where they will be posted.
Hmm.
All right, first up, who do we have, Jeff?
Tiana Taylor, she's at the screening of One Battle After Another, her movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is
Yeah.
a big deal for Tiana. Um, yeah, so we are, I think let's set the stage. She's in
Okay.
a fully plaid look, like
Yes.
every aspect of it in this same, what is it, like window pane pattern?
Yeah, window pane,
Yeah,
blue and brown window pane.
yeah. And she's rocking her pixie, sort of like
Yes.
a Bixie, like a little
Uh-huh.
bit, not quite. Yeah, and we got some flip going on. I mean, it's always impeccably styled. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's like beautifully. There's no it's one color, monochrome, like just black, jet black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what I like this look. I feel like she goes back and forth between there's a lot of versatility in what she does
Yeah.
with her hair.
Yeah.
So like this one, I think we've seen this silhouette from her a few times. It's beautiful. It's not necessarily the most exciting thing, I think. So like I'd give it like a 6. Not
Okay.
bad. That's kind of where I'm at.
I actually really love it. I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's
Great.
stunning. I
Good. Somebody should.
love the deep, rich color. I love the little flip. I love the micro bangs that are kind of piecey and separated. So I'm going to go with an 8. Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm glad. She
Okay.
deserves it. I'm
She
just
does. She's
not
stunning.
feeling it maybe.
Next up, we have Chase Infinity, who is also in the film. And this is, stunning. Jeff, explain.
So, I mean, she's wearing her hair
Oh,
down, center parted, beautiful natural texture, this sort of ovular shape, like really beautifully brushed out. I mean, it's just so voluminous.
it is.
I'm really into this. So there's not really like a slick quality here. It is very earthy, airy, like you can see like it's not too fussy.
No,
It's just like such a perfect shape.
it is a
Um,
perfect shape.
yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go straight 10 on this because I think one, it's her natural texture, which
Mhm.
I think is stunning and beautiful. The shape is absolutely impeccable. I mean,
Yeah,
they
it's
had to
really
cut to the shape.
oh,
Um,
Corey Moreno. Oh yeah. I mean,
mm,
this is yeah, yeah. This that makes sense.
you're going to want to check this one out in our show notes for sure or on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Jeff,
this
what's your
is
rating?
I think it's a 10. I think it's a 10. I mean, I
Yeah.
love this whole thing. I
Oof.
think like the look, like the outfit as well as the hair and makeup, the style. It's such yeah, it's perfect. It's so good. Unlike Tiana Taylor, in my
Ooh,
opinion.
oh, come on.
I'm going back to it. I'm just like, I really liked this one. All right. Last but not least, Isla Johnston, who, from the look of this link, because it's a spread from Vogue, she's going to be starring in Jeanne d'Arc. Joan of Arc. Is there an adaptation that I'm
Oh,
unaware of that's in?
with Baz Luhrmann.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so
In light of that, that sort of explains the look, doesn't
it
it? I
does. It
mean, yeah.
absolutely does. Because this look on itself just can't translate. So it's a super, super tight pixie. very, very, very micro bangs, but then you've got a little bit of longer ends kind of coming out the ears and a little bit on the nape of the neck.
Yeah, like
A very dark brown color,
mm-hmm,
kind of a wet look,
mm-hmm.
which I get I get this goes with the theme, like for sure, right?
Yeah.
So for that, I can give it a high rating. But on its own, wandering around in the wild,
Not for you. Not for
no,
you.
no,
Yeah.
this doesn't work. No.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like a very similar assessment. I mean, I love a microbang.
Yeah.
This is like a skullet territory though. Like we're really
Yes,
like I mean, but it's a shag, so I mean the proportion. This is tough, but again, editorial and also thinking
right.
about for
For sure.
film, like
Yes.
it's a statement making cut. So like we applaud that. I'm into it. I think like for what it is, like a 8 or 9.
I agree for what it is. I'm going to give it a 7, but out in the wild, I'm going to give it a 4 because, it might just be because it would never be
Yeah.
close to that daring.
Yeah.
So,
I just feel like this is one of those things where you can only do it when you're like a skeletal gamine actress.
yes,
Like like it's not a cut that
no, this isn't a
you
car line cut. Like, no.
no. No, certainly not. But we do love it. As always, let's move on if we could. Let's get into this week's beauty news. And something that I think we can all get around is trend forecasting. These are the top fall hair trends according to celeb stylists in the couverture. What are some of the trends that you're seeing
Yeah,
here?
we've got a little soft focus brunette, which is nice, real
Hmm.
natural. A rich girl brunette, which that I can get behind.
Hmm.
A spun with silk blonde, golden hour highlights. Those aren't new. Back to natural curls. I don't think that's new
None of
trend.
this
Do
is
you?
new. None of this is new.
Come
What are we
on.
doing, gang?
90s supermodel layers. Like, why do we have to
Jesus
just come
Christ.
up with new names for stuff just to do it?
Because we got to get these link clicks. I mean,
Yeah.
this is
Lived in
this is
texture is not a that's not a trend.
no, no.
So what do you know what? Let's set some trends. Me and you. Like let's as
Well, the thing that about this is like it's so grab baggy. Like it's just like
yeah.
here's literally everything that's happening right now. You're
Right.
bound to be interested in one of these things. I just yeah, I think it's lazy. Um Look, we talked about this with fashion weeks. So London and New York that are currently have happened.
Hmm.
Like effortless is trending. And I think like effortless is becoming individualized. So that is, I think, the trend that I'm interested in,
Yeah.
which is that people are trying to look like themselves, whatever
Yeah.
that is, which I do like.
I like that too. Can you name it? Can you come up with a name? Like it can't be effortless lived in. It has to be like rolled out of bed chic or something
Yes,
like
that.
woke up at 3 a.m. for a
Yeah,
glass of
because it's like,
water.
but it's, but it's like, but it's not woke up like this because we know that
Yeah,
it's I don't want you to fixate on how much time that it's like,
actually
I
took
don't.
me to look this undone. Yeah. Okay. We are not trend forecasters
No,
clearly, so
no. Yeah, I mean, I just like with this one in particular, the difference between the soft focus brunette and the rich girl brunette, and it's just like a
just a
difference
couple
of
shades.
photography. Like it's
Yeah,
really not
lighting.
even the color. The color, these girls are basically rocking the
One's
same.
well lit and
Yes,
one's
and one's
not.
got a dark background, and therefore it's
Jeff,
it's
oh gosh.
sorry, it's trash. We do no disrespect to the stylists that have been tapped to contribute. I just think it's
Absolutely.
lazy. Yeah, what I will say is that I'm interested in seeing the micro bang continue to be a
Yeah.
thing. I'd like
Okay.
to see just in the spirit of what I just said in terms of individualized styles.
Okay.
I feel like it just makes everything so much more interesting because
It
the
does.
Bob, God, we cannot escape it. Like there's a
We're
death
there.
grip. Like, it's been like 3 years of everybody's getting a Bob. So like, how do you make it interesting?
It's the mess with the bangs trend by Jeffrey Lennon, our editor in chief. All right,
I
Jeff, you like this next one. D&D
yeah.
Gel drops a new collection with culinary tastemakers.
Hmm.
Explain to the audience what we're looking at.
So D&D Gel, the collab that they've dropped is a collection of shades called Yes Chef, which like I literally was just talking about stuff that has
Hmm.
been played out, and certainly the bear of it all, the Yes Chef.
Yes, I
But
think
it
that's
like
come and gone.
it certainly has. But this campaign, she's like holding what looks like sauces in the sauce aisle, and I just think it's fun. Like let's not. think too much about it. You know, that's kind of where I'm at.
I think it's fun too. I mean, what a fun job to name nail polish colors. I mean, and we're not even out
What
of
a
them
dream.
yet. I mean, we've got with them a spread it buttery yellow, a sip it rich burgundy, sear it fire engine red, zest it neon citrus. I mean,
It's
cute.
good. It's very
It's
good.
good.
Like
It's good stuff.
it's yeah, so like let's if you're gonna be cutesy, like let's do it. I just like I find this less obnoxious than some of the hazelnut roast blonde brown blonde like that we keep doing. Do you know what I mean? Like this is like
Yes.
let's just lean into it. It's
And
cute.
and it's adorable. The packaging is
And the colors are
unbelievable.
good. Like the shades are
Yeah.
interesting. It's not just the same thing sort of said differently. Like I mean that red
That's
really is
my
a
red. I
I
mean, I
know.
kind of want to try the scorching red.
Maybe you should. I wouldn't stop you.
Hmm.
I really
All
like
right.
this zested that neon green.
Okay, we double down. We back up and we say this is pretty cool. Talked herself into it. Okay, Jeff, I got a good one this week. This
Repeat guest.
week, yes, repeat guest. She was awesome. This week, I'm talking to Carly Zanoni, a Northern California native who's been in the hair industry for over 18 years. Over the past 7 years, Carly has shifted her focus to education, building an in-person teaching career, and founding Blonde Chronicles University, a virtual education platform now serving more than 8,000 members. Passionate about helping hairstylists work efficiently and confidently, Carly's approach to education is simple, straightforward, and salon-friendly. Carly joins to talk about Nutrafol, their partnership, and Hair Loss Awareness Month. Make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volume up at thetease.com.
Before we get to Kelly's interview with Carly, let's talk about Tease beauty news. This one is an oldie but a goodie because it keeps sort of expanding. The article is called Doja Cat Only Wears MAC in New Campaign. MAC Cosmetics just debuted its new global campaign, I Only Wear MAC, celebrating flawless skin, fearless individuality, and the icons who define culture now. And Doja Cat is at the very center. The Grammy-winning artist and cultural provocateur is, of course, the brand's new global brand ambassador, which we covered. It's linked in this article because who could forget about this year's VMAs where she was eating the lipstick and all of that stuff. And she puts the cult favorite Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15, her shade NC20, to the test with her signature body-bending moves, proving that MAC's best-selling foundation flexes as hard as she does. Head to thetease.com to see more campaign photos. This campaign also features Kris Jenner's new face.
Oh, fancy.
Yes, a number of others. So like MAC is really shaking things up with this campaign. Do you use any MAC products? Does this make you think about MAC in a new light? Because that's, I mean, the point of these kind of campaigns, right?
Yeah, I think I have a couple lip glosses that I use. I think
Still.
back in the day, for
Oh, yeah.
sure, for
But see,
sure.
that's what, I
So
mean, yeah.
yeah, so I think that one, I love Doja Cat. I think she's awesome. Two, I like that they're trying to kind of revamp with her kind of at the helm with their new creative director.
hmm
And it's a great campaign. So I'm not opposed to it. You know, when I do peruse Mac
When? When?
when they're in the airport.
Really?
I think that's like a solid move,
I mean,
seriously. I
it
mean,
is
who
kind of
doesn't need
genius.
like 4 more lip glosses when you have nothing else to do? I
That's
need it. I need it.
they've done really
Yeah.
nicely for
So,
themselves in the airports
yeah,
because yeah, those they do look quite inviting. Like it's
they
like
do.
why wouldn't you want to come in here and take a look around at all of
And I
these?
do.
Yeah.
And I do. And I want to ask the questions and I want to see if I'm the perfect color. I've got all the time in the world. Let's do this.
Maybe Kelly will be part of the campaign in the future.
I'm available.
Only wearing MAC. Yep.
All right, 5 keys to beauty media strategy that your brand is missing. In today's beauty landscape, professionals are drowning in brand messages. Every week brings a new product drop, as we've witnessed here, a campaign launch, or a headline making activation. Cutting through the noise has never been harder, but for brands, the stakes are high. The professional beauty audience, a notoriously hard to reach cohort, spends nearly 3 times more on personal use products than the average consumer. Not to mention their investment in professional only products, making a nimble beauty media strategy an absolute must. This audience isn't just valuable, it's decisive. Beauty pros shape consumer demand through recommendations, retail influence, and social content creation. To reach them requires more than glossy creative or high profile events. It requires strategy, one that accounts for validation, research, integration, amplification, and creator relationships. Head to thetease.com to learn the 5 keys because we know them. Our editor
That's
in
right.
chief knows them.
We better. We better. Go to the teas. Thank you so much to our contributors and editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these over on thetease.com.
Now stay tuned for our interview with Carly Zanoni. Okay, let's pause for a second because if you're a stylist, you know how often clients open up about thinning, shedding, or changes in their hair. Nutrafol gives us a science-backed way to support them from postpartum to menopause and everything in between. It's not just about growth, it's about giving clients their confidence back. And yes, you can retail it right in the salon. Head over to Nutrafol.com/stylist to see why so many pros are recommending it. Carly Zanoni is a Northern California native who's been in the hair industry for over 18 years. She began her career in La Jolla, California, where she spent a decade behind the chair creating custom colors and cuts for her clients. Over the past 7 years, Carly shifted her focus to education, building an in-person teaching career, and founding Blonde Chronicles University, a virtual education platform now serving more than 8,000 members. She's also built a powerful online presence, connecting with a combined audience of more than 725,000 followers across social media. Pretty impressive. Passionate about helping hairstylists work more efficiently and confidently, Carly's approach to education is simple, straightforward, and salon-friendly. Having experienced her own struggles with confidence and anxiety early in her career, she now teaches stylists how to simplify techniques, trust themselves, and thrive behind the chair. Hey, Carly, welcome back to the podcast. We're so excited to talk to you today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me back. I'm so excited to be here.
Talk to me about your journey in the industry. Like, give me the fast version of like why you wanted to be a salon pro to your journey to where you are now.
Yeah, so I actually got into hair because I was 18 and I went to 1 year of college and I was like, yeah, this isn't really for me.
Yeah.
And I wanted a job where I can sleep in late and I didn't I could make my own schedule. Like genuinely that is what I was like, all right, I guess I'll go to hair school. I was as into hair as the next person. It wasn't this like passion for me. So that's pretty much what encouraged me to go to hair school. But then of course I went and I was like, wait, this is so much fun. I love this.
Yeah.
And graduated from school, kind of started taking clients, but again, I was very anxious, very much felt like, did I pick the wrong career? Because I just don't feel like I'm good at this. And I always tell people, like, okay, maybe some people were naturally good at braiding or at styling hair. I don't think anybody is naturally coming out of the womb great at formulating color,
No.
great at like knowing the science of color. It's just, it's one of those things. So I felt very unsure of myself, kind of just kept trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then, I popped around salons a bit, not too much, and just started building a clientele. And then about 10 years into doing hair, my friend was like, "Will you come teach a class for our salon?"
Oh.
And I was like, "I've never taught a class, but okay." And she's like, "Just don't tell the stylist that you've never like just show
Yeah,
us what
just
you do. Just fake it till
yeah.
you make it." So I did, and I was like, "Oh wait, I like that," because again,
Hmm.
the why moments of people felt more confident and they were like, "Oh, I've struggled with that for so long." So that was cool. And then slowly started to ease into more classes and trying to figure
Okay.
out kind of how that worked. And then when 2020 happened and we were all kind of at home with the
Yeah.
pandemic, I was like, all right, well, I got to take this online. Otherwise, I can't travel anywhere to teach classes. And I launched my online education, and luckily, I feel like that was the beginning of when virtual education got very popular.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out. And then here we are. Now I have my online education platform, Blonde Chronicles University, and then I focus mostly on education.
That's incredible. That I didn't
Yeah.
know that you started it so few years ago and
Yeah.
you have an incredible amass
Thank
of
you.
following.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Yeah, I think I really lucked out with the timing. I mean, people were stuck at home when I launched my
Yeah.
online platform. People were stuck at home. It was $10 when I started
Okay.
it. It was like
Yeah.
a private Instagram page, very, very low budget to start. There
Okay.
was no budget to start it really.
Yeah.
I just figured it out, but I think my timing was impeccable. I really,
Yeah.
really lucked out with that because people needed something to do and they didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
money. Nobody was making money. So,
Yep.
I just think I lucked out. But thank you so much for those kind
Yeah.
words. I do love it. So I'm
Yeah.
fortunate.
Very successful. Congrats. Because I know it's a labor of love too, right? I mean, this
It
doesn't
is.
just
Yeah.
happen to
Right.
take off, right? So,
Yeah, it's been a journey. I'm learning every day. There's always new stuff.
so Carly, for those who might be new to the Blonde Chronicles, can you share a little bit about your mission in the beauty space?
Yeah, absolutely. My goal in the beauty industry, my main goal is just to inspire hairstylists to not overthink everything. When I came out of beauty school, I was just very anxious. I still am sometimes about doing hair, but it was really, really tough for me to kind of settle in and feel like
Okay.
I was good at this job. So I just want to kind of remind people like, hey, hair is hard and it's not don't expect to be great at it right out of the gate. Like it takes
For sure.
time and you can still do magical, amazing things even while feeling anxious, even while
Yeah.
learning. So just remind people of that. That's really my main goal and simplifying stuff.
I love it. And you, like I said, been very successful at it. What is the most exciting thing about sharing hair tips, product insights with your audience? Like what gets you when you hit the floor, your feet hit the floor in the morning? What is it?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, for sure, it's just the feeling of the fact that I remember how I felt doing hair before
Yeah.
some clients feeling nervous. And then to think that I might take that away, just maybe 1%,
Yeah.
make it 1% better for somebody else. That is the why for sure. Just
Okay.
because I know how it feels to go into work feeling very unsure. So if I could
Yeah.
change that just a little bit for somebody, that's huge. And that's what keeps me going for sure.
I like that. Do you have
Yeah.
a tip recently that's kind of like blown up where people are like, "What? I didn't know that."
I I don't know if anything's blown up, but something very simple is I talk about tipping out a lot, like just lightening the
Oh,
ends of the hair for to very much maximize your efficiency when you're blonding. And one of the things I always talk about is again, because every bit of my education just is based on me doing it the wrong way and then figuring
okay.
out like, oh,
Yeah.
that didn't work. So I always say like tip outs have a tendency to just stay really warm and
Hmm.
then you end up with this like warm band at the bottom of the hair like towards the
Okay.
end. So I always tell people like do the tip out, tuck it underneath the other foils so that it can get close to the heat from the scalp and they'll lift
Hmm.
so much better. So that's like
Dang.
something very niche and tiny, but those little
Cute.
things are what changed a lot for me. So that's one of
Yeah.
my main things.
I love that. Okay, we've had you on the pod before, so thanks for
Yeah.
your time again. Is
Thanks for
there
having me
one
back.
you bet. Is there one hair or wellness tip that you've been loving lately that you think everybody needs to know about?
Absolutely. I've been learning more, kind of working with Nutrafol a bit more. I've been
Yeah.
really learning about how hair health actually starts from the inside out, and
Mm. Yep.
just a shampoo and a conditioner is only going to get you so far. So I would say if we're really struggling with hair health, we've tried all the shampoos, all the conditioners, we don't color our hair, we don't heat style, and there's still issues. I think
Ah,
it's deeper than just surface level. So that's been something that I've really been focusing on. And there's a lot of ways that you can help that, but that's something that we often forget about because we're so deep in the world of products and
yeah.
just surface level stuff, which is great, but there's more to hair health than that.
For sure. I mean, Nutrafol, we're here to talk a little bit about the incredible brand and
Yeah,
how they're changing the world. I
totally.
mean, behind the chair, stylists hear it all. Clients open up about highs and lows. I'm sure you've got a million stories to share.
Yeah.
But one topic that comes up more often than you think is menopause,
Oh, yeah.
especially the way it affects hair. And we're all inevitably getting there. Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
For many women, it's not just about shedding, but confidence, identity, and feeling like themselves again. Talk to me about that journey when somebody sits down and you're saying, I think I'm there. I'm perimenopause, I'm menopausal. What do you say as a stylist?
Totally. Well, for sure, one thing I think is sometimes clients are almost like embarrassed or they don't even
Yeah.
want to approach the subject. So I think sometimes we may even have to say, like, hey, if we're noticing all these things, obviously you have to be gentle about it because you don't
Yeah.
want to offend somebody. But sometimes it's nice to just say, like, have you noticed any kind of perimenopause or menopausal symptoms? Because
Hmm.
it really can affect hair. And this is something that I don't think clients honestly really understand because a lot of times, they go to the doctor and talk about hormone changes and other stuff going on in their body. And when they bring up their hair, their doctor might be like, okay, whatever,
Totally.
that's not really the same, but it actually does really go back to complete body health, like we were talking about,
Yeah.
and coming from the inside out. So when somebody brings it up, I like to really reassure them and just say, I totally get it, and
Yeah.
I know how important hair is, and there are things that like we can do in ways that I can help you, but we can definitely work through this. And I just feel like hearing them and acknowledging,
Hmm.
hey, this is a big deal, and maybe somebody else has dismissed it or their doctor has dismissed it, and
Yeah.
just hearing them and letting them know that I understand, I'm going to help you through this, and we can figure
Yeah.
out a way to kind of treat this and get your hair back to feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting, and I love that there's so much more awareness around it as
Yeah.
women right now because
Hmm.
obviously, 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was like, ugh, nobody,
Yeah.
they're just going crazy, right? And
Right.
so I think that it is one thing where women experience that hair thinning, but they don't expect it. And
Right.
so I'm I guess we're here today to say it shouldn't be a surprise that that's a
Right.
symptom, right? What is the difference if somebody's listening and they're like, I think I'm shedding. Am I thinning? I don't know what I'm doing here. But what's the difference
Right.
between normal shedding and actual thinning that may be linked to menopause?
Totally. Yeah. So you're exactly spot on with that. Some people are like, is this normal shedding? Is
Yeah.
this normal thinning? Because I mean, sometimes we brush our hair and we see some hair in the hairbrush. Like that is not unusual. One of the biggest factors or like biggest signs, I guess, of menopause thinning related specifically to menopause is actually like a widening of the part. It's not just necessarily
Oh.
like extra hair in your hairbrush. You notice that when you part your hair, it almost looks much thinner up there and
Hmm.
much wider. And that's one of the biggest indicators. I feel like if you kind of section through somebody's hair, you can see that it's almost starting to like disappear a little bit. And it's not just a typical I brushed my hair, there's a couple of strands
Yeah.
of hair. It's also very much a texture change. It feels more brittle,
Oh.
it feels way more dry. And of course, environmental factors can contribute to all that. So it's hard to tell the difference between, hey, is this just because I changed up my shampoo routine
Yeah.
or the weather's changing or whatever? But a lot of times, if you see a combination of those things and there's other things happening in the body, like, changes in how you feel and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, that's the biggest indicator of thinning related to menopause. So, really, I'd say the biggest one you'd notice is that thinning of the part around the hairline, way
Okay.
more than normal.
Oh, that kinda gives me ugh, because I mean,
You're
hair is
like, wait a
obviously
minute.
ugh, I've never heard it described that way, so thank you.
Yeah,
And it's very, very interesting. You've said before that menopause isn't an ending, it's a new
right,
chapter, which hallelujah, right? We're not just
right.
trailing off, right?
Yeah, totally.
What do you mean by that, especially when it comes to beauty and self-confidence?
Totally. Well, I think immediately when people are faced with these new things, like my hair's brittle, what am I going to do? I would say that's again where it comes in for us as hairstylists. We need to just remind them, like, hey, it's going to be okay. First of all, this
Yes.
is a huge change in your body, and we are going to address, you know, all those factors, but I'm also here to help you specifically with your hair. And I like
Yeah.
to kind of remind them, hey, we don't just have to accept the fact that now your hair's really thin and you can never heat style it. I just think reminding people that, hey, this can be a new, we like to phrase it positively as a new beginning, but
Yeah.
really it's comes down to just reminding them, hey, we can get back to great hair. This is
Yeah.
not the end of good hair because I feel like, again, especially when women are kind of aging, there's, like we said, a lot of other changes, and hair is just that cherry on top of like, oh my
Yeah.
God, my hair sucks. But there's a lot of ways that you can actually help them. One is obviously through suggesting things like Nutrafol,
Yeah.
specifically the women's balance, which is so cool because it's formulated specifically for women over the age of 45.
Okay.
So it's so specific to them. But again, with the going back to the new beginning stuff, maybe it's a time when you're like, what if we pop in a couple extensions? What if we change up
Yes.
your color to make it feel different and really
Yeah.
work for you? What if we do a new haircut? So just throwing in those kind of things to where they don't feel like, okay, my life of having beautiful hair is over, because it's definitely not.
Yeah, it's definitely not, and I think that is interesting. I unfortunately fell into that category that the supplement is
Well, you don't look
formulated
like
for.
it, so
Thank
there's
you.
that.
But I was talking with my best friend a couple days ago, and I'm like, "Girl, you gotta color that hair and chop it off, maybe a
Yeah.
little bob." And she did it, and the fact that she's also in the same age range, just hair and that change and that consultation with the stylist can make the
Hmm.
biggest difference because she felt like
Totally.
she was going down. I'm like, "No, we're going up."
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think many clients or stylists don't realize how deeply hormonal changes affect the hair? And why is it important to bring awareness to this connection?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's important because really, again, I've been learning more about it too. And that
Yeah,
is probably at the root cause of a lot of hair health issues. I think a lot of people don't realize, because we've never really talked about this much. It's always been,
right,
you go to a
right.
product knowledge class and it's like, use this serum. And again, that
Hmm.
stuff is great and not to be
Yeah.
discounted. However, it really is surface level. So many things affect hair health. Your stress actually affects hair health. How much you sleep affects it.
Hmm.
Your nutrition, your diet, when your metabolism changes, and some of these things happen during menopause. Your lifestyle affects actually the
Totally.
inside, and that again goes back to your hair health. So I just think we as hairstylists haven't really been taught about this. And if we have, it's also, we haven't really had a product to help people with. I mean, there's been
Yeah.
stuff here and there, but I think when Nutrafol came on the market, which actually was not that long ago,
Right.
um, it changed a lot. And the fact about Nutrafol that I love is that we can actually retail it. And that's huge, because
Right.
previously a lot of this stuff was like, go to the vitamin store, whatever, and get blah blah blah. But
Right.
now it's like, this is actually a salon recommended product that
Hmm.
we can sell to clients along with those serums and those mousses and volume stuff, whatever. But it's just so important to educate your clients about this,
Yeah.
because like I said earlier, they could do all the things and their hair could still not be as healthy as they
Hmm.
want it. I say all the time, like people doing extensions, you don't think about the fact that your extensions are going to look better on fuller, healthier hair. They're going to blend better.
Yes.
Your color
Yes.
is going to look better on healthier, fuller hair, and your cut. And it gives your clients so much more options and opportunities with what they
Yeah.
want to do. So, yeah, let's make them aware of this
Yes.
possibility.
Absolutely. Because I've experienced hair thinning through all the stages,
Yeah.
um pregnancy,
Yeah.
postpartum, like all of the things. And so my hairdresser pays really close attention. She's actually
Yeah.
self-educated her a lot on this, but I think there's a lot of stylists out there that are too like, should I recommend this? Like, does
Yeah.
it really work? And then my second point is let's add to your retailing, right? Like let's
Right.
let's let's go, right?
100%. And I think the great things about retailing this is any kind of hair product, or really, aside from like a serum or something, any sort of thing that's addressing like an inner problem
Yeah.
has a bit of a higher price point than a serum, which as it should. So that's also a great thing to consider when you're retailing it. And, a lot of like Nutrafol sold other places than a salon. However, there's incentives for stylists to sell
Mm,
it. Clients get a discount when they buy from you.
okay.
Also, it's just that relationship with the client and having them trust you when they
Yeah.
buy a product that they actually like. So it's a huge bonus if you
Yes.
retail it. And also instant gratification. Like if you tell clients about this, oh my gosh, I have this thing, and maybe you're like, I've been taking it. Obviously, we always love when we can try and experience stuff
Yeah.
ourselves. And it's like, I have it today for you. Like, start taking it today. And
100%.
clients love that, truly.
They love it because what are you gonna do? Especially, I
Oh,
mean, I
yeah.
think women feel totally dismissed by doctors when they mention
100%.
hormonal shifting affecting their hair. You're right, it's kinda like, "Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but, like, we're gonna."
Right.
And so I think there's this unique opportunity to validate and support clients like no other service provider is doing.
100%. And really, no other service provider can do that. I mean, what, you go to
Yeah,
get a facial, like that's still different than your hair, or
yeah,
you go to your workout class, still different than your hair. And
totally.
often we just kind of really underestimate how important hair is to people. So we just need
Yes.
to like take that power back of like,
Yeah.
hey, I can help you, and I'm the person that you want to be talking to about this. So for sure.
Absolutely. We're going to dive a little more into menopause because we
Yeah.
know it comes with brain fog, sleep disruption, hot
Yeah.
flashes, mood swings, skin changes. Hooray.
Right. Everything.
How does hair add to that emotional load for women?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's basically like you listed all those things, and that is
Yeah.
enough of a change to begin
Come
with.
on.
I
Yes.
mean, it's like I said, it's just the cherry on top. Like when it rains, it pours. So that part of it is, a lot of these things are happening inside, mood changes, all that kind of stuff that's really internal, and people can't see that from the outside.
Sure.
Some things like
Yeah.
skin changes, maybe weight fluctuation, stuff like that. However, once again, hair is one of those things that you cannot hide what your hair looks like. You can only wear so many hats and hide your hair under it for so long. So hair is just it's such an emotional thing for people because it really is one of the few parts of menopause that you can actually see externally and people are
Sure.
seeing you. So I think again, we forget that, okay, you're having hot flashes and you're this and that and like
Yeah.
a lot of changes, but a lot of that is just inside and nobody can
Yeah.
see it.
Great
So
point. That's a
yeah,
great point.
it's huge for confidence.
Then we've also got stress, sleep, nutrition, lifestyle, and that ties into hair health too. It's like all just tying right in.
Oh, exactly. And a lot of times, if you're not going through menopause, all the like sleep and diet and nutrition, all those things affect it as well, of course. But with
Yes.
menopause, it's just such a greater shift in
Yeah.
hormones and such a bigger change. So it's that much more important to have your hair this thing where you can be like, well, at least my hair looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, what about misconceptions around menopause related hair thinning? Have you heard any?
Oh, I would say just the biggest misconception is people are like, my hair is done for. And even some stylists are like, okay, well, this is kind of the new normal, whatever. And just knowing that, because that's kind of defeating for somebody to hear, as a
Oh,
client to hear, like, oh God, I just have to adjust to my hair being
no.
horrible. And, it's definitely not that. So I would say that that's the biggest misconception is that this is
Okay.
it. Like, I'm adjusting to this brittle, different texture, less hair. And
Yeah.
it's not at all the case, like,
Okay.
even remotely. Yeah.
Can you explain how hormone receptors in hair follicles respond to shifts in estrogen, progesterone, and stress? Woo! And you're not a doctor, but you're going to play one right here. No.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do my best
Okay.
with
Okay.
this because
You can do layman's terms. Like,
okay, yes. It's very, very sciency,
yeah.
okay? But I do want to point out some of the main ingredients in Nutrafol.
Yes.
And I'm gonna read off my notes here because
Okay.
I don't want to mess up the names. But
Fair.
there are some ingredients that are specific to the Nutrafol Women's Balance that really are targeting like hormone health and
Okay.
balance. So the sensoryl ashwagandha, it lowers the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So that's
Yeah.
huge. We really, really underestimate stress. So that's
Yeah.
huge. Then we've got the maca,
Okay.
I think it's maca, organic root. And that eases that hormonal transition. And that's one of the main, like, important ingredients in this women's balance, which
Okay.
is for 45 and over, any women in that age range. And so targeting specifically so that the hormonal changes aren't just like insanely all over the place.
Yeah.
And then this one I gotta say slow,
Okay.
tocotrienol complex, and this one I think is so cool because it's an antioxidant that
Mm.
actually fights environmental stress, which
Oh,
again, like not only are all these hormone changes happening inside your body, but there's environmental things as well affecting it, but all of that is going into just regulating the hormones and all the stuff
yeah.
happening inside your body. I hope that
Wow.
was okay.
That was great. It was
Okay.
good. I
Wasn't
understand.
specific to that, but I feel like that's too sciencey. We got to keep it surface level.
No, it's great because all of those things, I mean, cortisol, obviously really important. I think that's not even talked about from a doctor perspective. It's like, well,
A
I
100%.
mean,
Yeah. I feel like that's so underestimated. And even stuff with like weight gain and stuff, cortisol is so
eh,
important, but
yes,
especially with hair. I mean, and that's one of those things often if you go to a doctor about
yeah,
other stuff, you're like, okay, that's like a superficial thing. We don't care, whatever.
yes,
So all that stuff is so important.
which is wild that it's 2025 and we're getting there. I mean, Nutrafol,
Yeah.
obviously a total category disruptor.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, tell us again, you mentioned Nutrafol Women's Balance and how it takes a whole body approach.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to comment on from like supporting that hair growth and overall well-being?
Yeah, absolutely. So we know the hair, we know that the hair component is very important to that. And I love that this was specifically formulated for women over 45. There is a Nutrafol Women, which is for, I think, 18 to 44. And then there's a postpartum. So it's like they've gotten very specific to target separate things, which clients like that's such a great
Yeah,
talking point and selling point for clients, because it's not like, hey, they've got this one size fits all pill, which it
right.
seems kind of like, okay, like, is this an infomercial? What's going on? But it makes
Yes.
it feel much more legit, because it is much more legit. It's targeting something specifically. But so the cool thing about Nutrafol is, yes, it helps with hair health, but because of the specific ingredients, it's actually targeting a lot of the other stuff that's going on and other
Yeah.
imbalances. And it can help contribute to like different sleep patterns and the stress
Yeah.
and your metabolism adjustment and all this kind of stuff. So it's really important, just again, not for hair health is obviously it's kind of its main why it was created, but all those other things that can help contribute to kind of not treating but kind of helping with those. And
Yeah.
obviously there's some things that can get prescribed by your doctor and hormone adjustments and whatever, your
Yeah.
hairstylist can give it to
Right.
you. But I do think that we forget about how Nutrafol was meant for hair growth and health, but it also helps with these
The
a lot of these other things.
right.
So that's huge. The other thing that I really like about Nutrafol, and this is such a, again, selling point, if you're trying to retail it to clients,
Yeah.
I'm going to list off the things that it is actually free of, because
Okay.
it's not like this big, all these drugs and all these like things in there. So it's gluten free, it's dairy free, it's hormone free,
Okay.
it's gelatin free, it's free of artificial colors and flavoring, it's soy free, and it's drug free, which is kind of incredible
Yeah.
because it
Right.
is really, really, and this, and the thing about Nutrafol too, like I could talk all day about this, but I do, the thing I love about it is like it's completely science backed. Like there
Yeah.
are doctors that formulated this. It's not just somebody like, let me throw like a, somebody that does not know
Right.
about medicine. It's actually doctor formulated, and there's a lot of people that are in the medical professional, profession, especially like OBGYNs and stuff like that, that are directly dealing with this, that have
Yeah.
helped to create this formula that
Okay.
works.
I think that's important to say because you mentioned
Yes.
infomercial. I mean,
Right.
again, I have friends that are like, I don't know, I just took something. I'm not really
Right.
sure that it's gonna work.
Exactly.
You're like,
And it's totally, and it's wild because people, I always say this about hair stuff. People will go to any lengths and spend tons of
yes.
money
Yes.
to have the slight hope that their hair could get better.
Yep.
And this kind of feeds into that. But the great thing about Nutrafol is that it actually works incredibly well. And if you go on their website, I mean, there are tons of claims that are true. I don't know if people know this about brands, but you can't make claims on it. Like you can't say
Right.
93% of people saw this. Like you can't just make those claims without
Yeah.
actually having data that supports it. So if you go on their website, it's a wealth of info about how many people saw improvement, a lot of before and
Yeah.
after photos. So it really legitimizes it versus something that they picked up at like Sprouts. Now, not nothing against Sprouts, but
Right.
there it's different
Right.
than just like a supplement that has no medical background kind of a thing.
Right.
Maybe that's an additional thing, but if somebody's going to take something, you want to make sure it's like this works,
For
and
sure.
there's tons of stuff that shows that and proves it.
Can you talk to me about, because you mentioned a couple different formulas. So we've
Right.
got the 45 or 46 and over. Talk to me if
Yeah.
someone's like, I'm 22, most of my clients are 25, they're under 30. Like, where
Right.
is the progression from the product line?
For sure. So they've thought of everything, honestly. So they've got the Nutrafol Women, which is from for 18 to 44, and that
Okay.
is essentially because, like we talked about, hormone changes from menopause are one thing, but even when you're younger than that, I mean, you could be
Yeah.
22 and you've got a lot of stress. You don't know what you're doing
Yeah.
with your life. At any stage of life, there's a certain amount of stress and metabolism changes and changes in your diet and nutrition and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So, once again, all of that stuff affects your hair health.
Yeah.
It's thinning in a little bit different way than menopause is, but still thinning of your hair and a lot of texture changes, a lot of dryness, and just
Yeah.
I feel like people dealing with stuff with hair health when they're not in menopause, they sometimes just come in and they're like, my hair just like feels different. Like I can't
Yeah.
style it like I used to be able to. When I wash it, it just feels different. So just adjusting that for them. And again, suggesting like, hey, we can do all the shampoos and stuff and let's definitely focus on a product regimen. But there are a lot of deeper causes to hair health. And, that's when we talk about the stress and like hormones in your body. Obviously, they're different in menopause, but stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we've got the women, which is 18 to
Okay.
44, for really great for any client. Oh, and especially if your clients are getting extensions. I know I mentioned that, but that's a
Yes.
huge one that we forget about because we're like, oh,
Mhm.
we're adding hair. We don't really need to focus on their hair. But hello, like your
Absolutely.
extensions will look so much better on healthy, full, beautiful hair. So there's that. And then they have postpartum, which
Okay.
is specifically targeted for people going through
Yeah.
postpartum, and it is amazing. I mean,
Hmm.
I can't tell you how many people come in complaining about postpartum. Like, right, we
Oh,
all
yeah.
know at their
Oh,
temples, the hair looks thin. It's so up and down that postpartum
yeah.
journey, and a lot of people, that's very similar to menopause in the sense that people are like, my life is over with my hair, and that's really not the case. But that is so something where topical stuff is really not going to treat that main cause.
Okay.
And it's actually great again for like helping with your mood imbalances and all those internal things that, sometimes doctors just are kind of like, whatever.
For sure.
So that is huge. So again, you're on this journey with your clients. When they're
Yeah.
younger, they take the women. When they maybe have a baby or start their family, then you got to get in the postpartum. And then if you're lucky enough to see them as a client for all those years,
Yeah.
then you get the women's balance for them. And there is also a
Okay.
men's line. So, if you got your guy clients, like that's great too.
Oh, and we know those men will buy whatever you're
Oh
recommending,
my,
right?
they will take, they're even more than women, like anything. They'll take anything, spend any amount of money.
Yes, especially if they think they get a little thinning in the back, like it's
Oh
panic
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned postpartum because again, that journey I was on, and then
Yeah.
your hormones are all over. You got a completely different lifestyle change, and then
Yeah.
your security blanket, your
Right.
hair.
Totally.
It's pretty traumatic,
Oh my
actually.
gosh. And yeah, so my kids are 7 and 4,
Okay.
and that's another like part in life where, like
Yes.
menopause, there are so many other changes happening.
Yes.
And I mean, for me, I was a complete wreck. Like, honestly, I was
Yeah.
crying
Yeah.
all the time. I had this
Yeah.
new thing that I like, they sent me home from the hospital. I'm like, are you guys crazy? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so on top of all that, your hair is just, I remember I just used to
Oh,
brush it in the shower and it
no.
was like
So
coming
sad.
out so much. And the saddest part about postpartum is that for a lot of women, while they're pregnant, their hair is the best it's ever been.
Yes.
Right? Because it's like
Right.
so many things. And I actually learned it's because, and again, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but I was kind of looking into this because it comes up all the time. That's the saddest part is that for a lot of women
Yes.
during pregnancy, their hair is the best it's ever been. And then
Uh-huh.
when they have the baby and then they're going through all those hormonal changes,
Ugh.
like bye, worst hair I've ever had. And so that is just once again the icing on the cake of, okay, well, I'm also just trying to take care of this baby. I look like a slob half of the time because I can't
Yeah.
ever shower. And then my hair also looks like trash. Like, what?
Wha
This is so unfair.
It's traumatic, truly,
It
and
really
until you've
is.
walked that walk, you're like, "It can't be that bad," but it
Right.
is.
It's that and worse. And I feel like especially because, with the women's balance and the menopause stuff, women are at a different age. And so
Yeah.
they've already they're easing into aging a bit and some of the things. But with postpartum, obviously it's a lot of like you're a bit younger typically, and you're just not ready
Yeah.
or like
No.
accustomed to anything in that area changing, skin changing, hair changing, all that kind of like aesthetic stuff.
Yeah.
You really haven't gotten to a point where you're used to it yet. So it's just
Yeah.
even more alarming. And that's another thing where I feel like as hairstylists, it really gets important to discuss these things, hopefully with your client before it starts happening, but as it's
Yeah.
happening too, just like, hey, it's going to get better. Like this phase is going
Yeah.
to get a lot better and you're
Mm.
not going to, deal with this forever.
Yeah. From a
So,
results perspective, how long does it take to kick in, if you will? Like, when are my
yeah.
sprouties coming? I always
Yeah.
ask, "Do you see any?" Like,
Right. Is that well, the funny thing
oh,
too
I
is
think
clients
there's
will be
one
like,
there.
right, clients will be like, "Is that growth or is that breakage?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, girl, that's growth,
Girl.
friend. Absolutely." But I would say by after 3 months, you'll probably notice a
Okay.
bit of difference for sure. But after 6 months, you should really start noticing,
Okay.
especially with the, again, like, yes, sprouties, but mostly too with just the fullness of it, that kind of stuff. Because we often think about like hair health only means new growth, but it actually
Mm,
also means
good point.
treating the hair that you already have, So I would say after 6 months, you can really expect to see quite a difference. And then, after a year, 2 years, total, like very, very big difference. Like,
Wow.
and again,
Yes.
this isn't somebody just making these claims.
Right.
I do want to reiterate, like, you cannot put these claims on a website unless you have actual evidence. So that's pretty incredible. I just can't stress enough how important it is to integrate something like this into your hair. I've been using it actually, and my hair is the longest, thickest it's ever been. You guys probably think I'm just
Oh,
saying that because I'm here. If anybody's listening to this podcast, no, look at my recent Instagram stories. There's probably something
okay.
on there with my hair, and it is truly just, it's amazing.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
sounds as such.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the other products. I know you want to mention back bar too.
Totally. Absolutely. So Nutrafol does have more than just the capsules that you take at home, because that, if for anybody that doesn't know, obviously I should mention that this is a little capsule that you
Mhm.
take at home. Like, obviously, I think people have gotten that by now, but just to reiterate, so they have a whole line of back bar stuff. So some of my favorites are, so they actually have a collagen like powder.
Mm.
Collagen's all the rage now. So they have a collagen
Hmm.
powder that you can mix in drinks and your coffee and all that stuff. They do have a one of my favorites. It's called a buildup blocker. So
Okay.
that's another thing with hair health is there's just a lot of crap that gets on our hair from, again, the environmental
Yeah.
factors, from other products that we're using. So this is intended to kind of break up that buildup.
Okay.
It smells delicious. They do have a shampoo and conditioner, which
Okay.
again, everything is kind of targeted for hair, overall hair health. And the thing I love about these products is you don't feel a lot of buildup, and you don't feel
Okay.
like, how sometimes you're using like
Yes.
volume building shampoo or conditioner, and
Yes.
it leaves your hair feeling just like
Y-
you have to wash it
yeah,
again.
for
And
sure.
it's not easy to style, but I think Nutrafol's done a great job because they are focusing on hair health and the ingredients are always
Yeah.
promoting that, but it's not this stuff that feels heavy. And sure, it made it feel maybe a bit thicker in the moment, but it doesn't feel like that. So I love
Right.
that about it. They also have, what else do they have? They have a serum, which is
Okay.
great. And I love that. But I would say my favorites are the build up blocker. And I do
Okay.
love the serum actually. I love a serum, just like a quick little,
Same.
you can use, maybe you forgot to bring something specific in the shower, you can use it
Yep.
after. So all really good options. And they do have back bar options for if you want to use them in the salon. And that's a really great way as well to talk to clients and let them know, like, hey, I'm using from
Yes.
start to finish this stuff that is
Correct.
good. They all go together.
And additional retail. Let's do
Oh,
it. Yeah.
100%. And I always say, like, obviously we want to help our clients, but
Yeah.
of course, there's this like taboo about, oh, I want to make money
No,
from retail. Like, of course we do. Why not? There's nothing wrong with
absolutely.
that. And
No,
especially if it's genuinely something that we believe in and it's helping our clients.
absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
so if I'm a stylist and I'm thinking, oh, I've got some clients, I need to talk to them about hair thinning.
Yeah.
What is the best way to have that sort of casual consultation that feels gentle, supportive, not embarrassing? Because they
Yes,
probably know it, right?
for sure.
Um, so how do we go about that?
For sure. And I think it's important to notice that some clients will come in and be like, my hair is trash. What can I do? And
Yeah,
some clients will be like, it's thin, it's horrible. And they'll even be like, I'm going through menopause. So there are those clients. And
yeah,
immediately, obviously, you can say, hey, I've got something for you. But the
yeah,
clients that are kind of going through this and they don't really want to talk about, again, it's a very sensitive subject for
yeah,
people. So we have to be gentle with that. And I would just say it's a great time during the consultation to be like, have you noticed when you're feeling your hair, when you're kind of washing your hair, do you feel like there's been any changes with how long you have to blow dry it for. Does it feel like
Okay.
you're rushing through your styling
Yeah.
because there's less hair to deal with? Even with like their color and cut, you can check in with them about that and say,
Yeah.
I know you want to feel really blonde around your face. I feel like we're kind of losing a bit of density on these ends around your face, and I want you to feel really bright and blonde, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
But kind of approaching it with that, and just gently easing into, hey, we might be dealing with like something underlying that could really, really help your hair health, as opposed to like, hey, I can't do anything to your hair today because it's so thin. Obviously, people, even
Oh,
using the word thin,
no.
thinning is one thing, but I hate
Yeah.
when people
Oh,
say, because a lot of times clients come in and they say, my hair's so thin. And I'm like, you have finer hair. And
yes.
the density of it potentially is not what you want it to be right now. But avoid using the word, oh, your hair's so thin. Now, saying it's thinning over time, I think is different.
Yeah.
But I hate that term of like, it's so thin. It just makes people feel defeated. So I think
Oh,
just,
totally.
yeah, I think just really easing it into like a gentle conversation in the consultation. And usually that prompts people to kind of open up, like,
Yeah.
hey, I've been noticing, and sometimes it even comes up when people are like, I want to stop bleaching my hair because my hair is falling out. And most
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
time, there are exceptions to that when hair is extremely overprocessed, but most of the time, it has nothing to do with that. And we know that bleaching your hair or chemical treatments, that doesn't really, most of the time, cause hair to fall out of your scalp. It's breaking
Great
off.
point.
Nutrafol is really approaching it from a, again, science like background, but
Yeah.
it's really paying attention and treating that three phases. Again, like if you're shedding a lot of hair, that's typically not from something like bleach. Like your hair would break off on the ends or in the mids, but it wouldn't really come out from your scalp. So even approaching it with that topic, which is again very sensitive because people will almost like blame you, like my hair's falling out and it's because of something
Yeah.
you're doing. And it's like, ma'am, I see you for like 5% of your hair's life, like
Yes.
during the year.
Correct.
It's like I can only do so much while you're in here. You've got to take
Yeah.
some accountability. Obviously, approaching that gently, not saying, hey, this is on you, but saying, I totally get the frustration. I feel like when
Yeah.
we acknowledge first off and then we offer solutions, people just want to be heard. So when
Yeah.
we say, hey, I get it, but also I can only do so much when we're in here. Sure, we can stop bleaching, we can stop doing all that stuff. But I want to be realistic about the fact that you still may not see the improvement you want. So
Mhm.
let's talk about potentially some internal things that are happening or ways that we can help it beyond just no more bleach, no more this, no more that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And approaching it that way, I feel like is a bit gentler.
I do too. Okay. So if a stylist wants to become this resource for
Yeah.
perimenopause, menopausal
Yeah.
clients, what is one small step that they can take today?
Yeah. First of all, I mean, if you want to learn more specifically about Nutrafol, they have a whole stylist program. You can go to Nutrafol.com/stylist and stylist or stylist. I think stylists, but
Okay.
you could figure it out pretty quick. And they have a whole option like to help you with even
Okay.
stuff that you can like signs that you can put out and things that you can talk about and they educate you on Nutrafol and the science and all that stuff. So that's a great option. Also, if you're just kind of like, I'm not really sure yet if I'm there. First of all, go to the website. Like I said, there's a lot of before and afters. There's a lot more
Yeah.
info on how long does this take? What is the specific recommended dose? Like that kind of stuff. And just their Instagram account, like has a lot of
Yeah.
great um like static posts as well that just give little stats and little ways to help, but also, more informational like reels and stuff like that. So there's plenty of ways to just like dip your toe in if you're not
Yeah.
ready to completely be like, all right, I'm offering this in my salon and that kind of stuff.
And I mean, try it for yourself,
Oh, a
right?
hundred
I mean,
percent.
because
Oh my gosh.
that's the best testimonial. It's like, yes, my part was getting
Absolutely.
wider as well.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that could help in that consultation, right? Say,
Oh, a
"Oh,
hundred
I
percent.
noticed on myself and I want you to be aware that this could happen or I see this."
Totally.
Um,
And that relatability is huge.
yeah.
And exactly like you said, hey, I noticed my hair. I couldn't
Yes.
style it the way I used to because it was getting so much finer and the
Yeah.
texture wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. I love bringing that up for sure.
Okay, we're nearing the end. Any parting words on Nutrafol besides let's let's get a hold of this and start recommending it to our clients.
I know,
All of
right?
them, all of
That's
them.
the biggest one, all of them, and I think that's the biggest thing to keep in mind. Just because your client is not 45 and going through menopause does not
Yeah.
need that they do does not mean that they do not need Nutrafol. And like
Yeah.
I already said a bunch of times, extension clients, your color looks better on full hair. That's the biggest thing. And just also, it helps me when I'm talking about this to my clients because sometimes we get like insecure about selling stuff to clients and I get
Yeah.
that, but it's really you have to think of it as like I could be offering somebody this potential dream result that they've been hoping for and they don't know about. We think, okay, so
Good
I feel
point.
like Nutrafol is kind of everywhere. So we think, oh, people know about this and they're just not ready to do something like that. But we
Mhm.
forget that clients do not know about all the stuff that we know about.
Right.
They really, really don't. So just keep that in mind in the back of your head of like, I'm not really sure I want to sell it and make, of course, like retail it, but it's also could be this incredible solution to a problem that we
Yes.
mentioned, how much it contributes to confidence, all the things about it. And offering them a solution is huge with how they trust
Absolutely.
you and just for their own like self-esteem and confidence. So that's really cool to keep in mind and remember.
And then when it works, it's like
Right.
they're committed to you, you would
Mm,
think, for the long haul.
for
Like
the
you
long haul.
literally
Yes.
solved one of their biggest confidence problems, if you will.
And then you couple that with like, here's the color that we can do to kind of like
Yeah.
help you feel better and all those things. It's that trust factor that we
Yeah.
forget. I always say that 80 or like I feel like 80 or more percent of the reason somebody comes back to you is the whole customer service experience and the trust that they have with you versus like, oh, I got great highlights. And all of this builds into that. You know,
Yeah.
it's the trust and feeling comfortable with you, comfortable enough with you to talk about their hair struggles and
Yeah.
feeling comfortable enough with you to take your advice on what to take.
Mm.
So all of that is just huge. And again, that's how you build a loyal clientele is all this kind of stuff.
Okay, so head over to Nutrafol on Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I'm sure everywhere. The
Everywhere,
talk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Um,
everywhere.
and then Nutrafol.com/stylist, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yep,
Okay. We're gonna round you out. And because you've been here before, we know you know what's coming. It's the
yep.
tease quick takes.
Okay.
And they're gonna be different.
Okay.
Okay. What is one dream client you'd love to work with?
Oh my gosh. I would love to work with Tate McRae. She has the most beautiful hair.
Yes.
Beautiful hair. That's kind of a very like whenever you're listening to this podcast in a year or 2 years, it might she might not be cool anymore, but Google her because her hair is beautiful and I feel like there's so many options with her hair.
You are the second stylist to say that.
Really?
Yes,
Oh
you
my
are.
gosh.
Uh-huh. Okay. If you weren't in beauty, what career would you have?
Ah, that's such a great question, and I was thinking about that. Honestly, I would love to do something with, like, interior decorating.
Oh,
I don't wanna be
okay.
like I don't wanna, just light little stuff, like little
Okay.
sprinkles. I would love to spend somebody else's money and go to Home Goods and then decorate their house, you know?
Same. Same.
Like, what a dream.
That'd be
Would that be
amazing.
horrible? No, it
Just a
wouldn't.
little accoutrements here and there. The toot toots.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Exactly. I
Okay.
love that.
Biggest pet peeve in the salon when someone's in your chair. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. I would say, I mean, big picture, I think it's them just coming and sitting down and just going off about how bad everything with their hair is. Obviously, them
Oh,
like trauma dumping,
yeah.
that's one thing. I don't even hate that. I'm happy to be there for them, but it's more just, I feel like I hate when people do that because somewhere along
Yeah.
the way, you got this terrible image of your hair and
Yeah.
it's just sad. And then my other pet peeve, it's not really a pet peeve, it's just I kind of like feel bad that people do this is some clients feel like they have to have conversation the whole time
Yes.
when really they want to kind of like relax and I want to be like, "Hey,
For
I
sure.
love you. You don't have to talk to me the whole time.
Yes.
I get it. I
Yes.
You're tired. Just relax. Shut off your brain."
I know. It's one of my most favorite times of however many months I go in between is when
Right.
you're just sitting there and relaxing and it smells like home to me because of my
Mhm.
mom's salon. And you're just like, I
Mhm.
just want to kind of like listen to a podcast or something, you know?
Right, and I feel like don't stress, I get it,
Yeah,
I'm not
that's a good point.
offended.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's one app that you can't live without?
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like the last time I said Amazon because that's just so generic. Okay, right now though, again, this is very niche to this time period. I am obsessed with the Instagram Edits app.
Yeah.
Now, Instagram is not
Alright.
paying me to say that, although I wish they
Okay.
were. It's
Sure.
pretty new, but I love it. It's so intuitive. Like that's how I edit my videos.
Okay.
And it's
Oh,
so intuitive. It's so just I just love it. You can do so much in it, and I
okay.
used to be a big CapCut girl, but I think
Yeah.
Instagram Edits
Oh,
is great. I love it.
dang. All right. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Okay, last. What is your signature karaoke song?
Oh my gosh. It would have to be Frozen
Oh
because my
my.
daughter is, Let It Go because my daughter is
Yes.
so obsessed with Frozen. And when I tell you I know every word to that song,
Sure.
every
Mhm.
kind of when she goes high, when she goes low, like I have every piece of that song memorized. So I feel like I could absolutely nail it. And we have
Okay.
sang to it in the car, sung to it in the car so many times that I just have it down.
And
I
that's
would
when you
nail it.
can really get behind and belt out, right? Like you're going
Yes.
for it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me and my daughter, we're
I
like,
love it.
"Let's do it."
I love that. That's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
this has been a joy, Carly. Thank you so much for spending time with us, for
Thank
educating
you.
us on all things Nutrafol. If you're listening, if this didn't convince you.
Yeah, right? Nothing will. Thank
But
you so
thank
much for
you.
having me. I appreciate it.
Jeff, I mean, I learned so much about Nutrafol and the brand and all the different products for different stages of your life, for the men in your life. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, salon pros. We need to like head out, start retailing this, start putting more money in your pocket, and be that source when somebody comes to you with hair thinning. We now have a category disruptor product to recommend. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbaca is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.